Buildings in CK3 are so expensive. Upgrading these mansions would take 2,240 gold, and all it does is increase the tax by 0.45. At this rate, it would take 4,978 months, or 414 years to even begin making a profit. How about we stack every building cost reduction modifier possible? In this game, we'll form the Kingdom of Livonia while creating the ultimate forest people culture to become the richest and most developed kingdom in the world. We're starting as Chieftain Narvait of Jersika, a tribal realm with one county in modern-day Latvia, and we're surrounded by stronger nations. We're of the unreformed Vitalism faith because we care about the trees, although we will have to get rid of that tenant because I'm not a fan of the plus 10% construction cost. Our culture is Latgalian, which is like a historical Latvian. But the important thing here is that we have forest wardens, which gives development growth and reduces building costs in forests. It also makes the forestry building better. We also have the sacred groves tradition because trees are awesome.
Wait, I'm the Lorax! I speak for the trees!
The first challenge will be to form the Kingdom of Livonia, which historically was formed hundreds of years later, but we're all about progress here. To do so, we will need these 3 duchies, which means we will need to beat Coronia and Livonia. Yes, I see the irony in beating Livonia to form Livonia, but it's just what we gotta do. Hey guys, thanks for helping us hit 10,000 subscribers. The next goal is to hit 15,000 by the end of October. The channel now has channel memberships, which is a way for you guys to support the channel and get a little extra content. So if you like what you're watching, I'd greatly appreciate it if you consider becoming a member. Thanks again, and let's get back to the video. Our character here is a charismatic negotiator, and normally I'm not a fan of the diplomacy tree for anything but playing a bigger kingdom trying to vassalize others peacefully, but as a tribal, the prestige gains can be really useful. August gives +1 prestige per month, and the Majesty focus also gives +1 prestige. So what's so good about prestige? As a tribal, it costs prestige instead of gold to create and maintain men-at-arms. Our culture gives us these cool, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that, archers that have better stats than regular bowmen and have bonuses in forests, taiga, and in the cold. I'm buying as many as we can, which brings us to 400. The potential issue is that it costs a lot of prestige to maintain men-at-arms, but what we can do to counter that is go on raids. The loot around here is decent, but that's mostly for the gold. To get a lot of prestige, you can lead your army to victories. When you get prestige, you can then buy more troops, which will then let you win more battles to get more prestige. This is perfect. Unfortunately, the AI knows how to raid too, and they are raiding our capital. Oh hey, Coronia is inviting us to a war. I guess now is an important time to mention that yes, we are allied to Coronia from the start of the game. We'll have to beat them later, but I'm down to help them in this war. I did it to get some prestige, but I literally only got 10. So I'm comparing our military to that of Livonia, and while they have more troops, we have more men-at-arms. I'm choosing to declare war for this county as it's kind of their best. I could potentially win it myself, but to guarantee victory, I'm calling in our allies. I mean, it's only fair since I helped them just a minute ago. We took a few castles and won the war without having to fight their army. So I have a 100 war score, but there are some raiders up here that I might as well attack while I can. Oh, never mind. It didn't actually give us any prestige, so that was kind of pointless. Whatever. We've doubled the size of our nation by adding another county. Novgorod is getting pretty big, so I'm a little scared that they will try to invade us. I'm going to marry my daughter to Polania here to hopefully scare off any potential invaders. These idiots really thought they could raid me? Thanks for the free prestige. I'm helping Coronia in another conquest, and the enemy is attacking me in my capital. And once you look at that, I wiped them out. I just have too many bonuses in the forest for them to handle. To make our archers even stronger, I'm buying some palisades, which increase archer damage and toughness. I'm just picking up the True Ruler perk, which gives us a little bit of prestige and also increases vassalization acceptance, but I don't think we'll get the chance to use that. While the prestige is great, I'm swapping to an authority focus to get the control up when taking new counties. If we increase the control, we will also increase the amount of gold and prestige new counties give us. We just had our first son, and we can train him to be the ultimate warrior. After helping both my allies in some wars, I'm at 600 prestige, which isn't bad, although we do lose prestige every month. We can build some gathering halls to reduce the amount we're losing. Our truce with Livonia finally ended, and we actually have this subjugate war goal here that would give us one of the duchy titles we need, while also adding all of their land to our realm. We just need a couple hundred more prestige. Let's hold a hunt. I shot a bear and got us a ton of prestige. Now we can declare war for all of Livonia. I'm gonna try to win without calling in an ally this time. I probably should have done this before declaring war, but I'm using that extra prestige we got from hunting to buy even more of those special archers. Another way to get control in counties is with the Serve the Crown perk, which I'm picking up. Yippee! We absolutely destroyed them in that battle there. Oh, okay, so peasants are rebelling now too. Well, those peasants certainly weren't an issue. If anything, it helps us out, as I can now recruit the peasant leader as a general. He's got 30 commander advantage and aggressive attacker. Hey guys, I know we're technically fighting the same common enemy, but this land is about to be mine, so get out of here. Our wife just gave birth to another son, but this one's a bleeder. We won the war, and now we're Livonia. We have 2 out of 3 of the required duchies to form the Kingdom of Livonia. We don't hold any of this land directly, so we don't get a huge power spike from it, so we'll want to revoke titles from our vassals to control the land ourselves. To revoke titles, we need absolute tribal authority, which is level 4, so I'll increase our authority whenever I can. Our new enemy is going to be Coronia, although we're allied and have fought many wars together. We're allied through marriage between my wife and I. I was speaking of the devil and they invited us to a war. It feels weird fighting a war with them, knowing I plan to invade their homeland. Novgorod here is very, very scary still. They have 11,000 men, and their leader is a conqueror, which is a random trait that makes the character pretty overpowered. They won't accept an alliance either, so I'm just gonna have to hope they won't invade me. Whether it's for defense or for invading, I need to continue getting stronger, so I'm upgrading my buildings when possible. I'm also going on hunts with my extra money to get more prestige. Coronia really just keeps invading people and calling us into the wars. They just fought without me, and it looks like their entire army was destroyed. You know, I have an idea. Time to divorce my wife for the low cost of 100 piety. Wait, you know what's funny? I can replace her and ally myself to Prussia, the nation that just beat Coronia in a war. I feel like Italy during the world wars right now. I can declare war for the entire Duchy of Coronia, which should be an easy win given that they don't have a military anymore. We're winning the war, but we're also getting raided by way too many people to defeat from Novgorod. Well, the Russians have made us depressed. Depression aside, we won the war and we now have Coronia. Well, sort of. I have all the land, but I need to get the title. Which I can't do apparently, since the guy I just beat is in another war. Oh, never mind, it just ended. We can now create the kingdom. Never mind again, we need 27 more gold. All I have to do is sell a child, and that should give us enough money. Now we can really create the Kingdom of Livonia by proclaiming Terra Mariana. We are now the Kingdom of Livonia, and we get an interesting purple-colored nation. This also makes us the head of the Latgalian culture, so we can start picking which text to research. And we're going to need to research a lot, since we know basically nothing. Forming the kingdom gives us the title, but does it give us anything special? Sort of. It gives us the longships innovation, which allows us to raid overseas, and also lets you sail armies in major rivers, which I think is super useful. Now, it's not the most insane reward, but it's still pretty cool. Now that we're a king, we can actually host the newly added coronation event. Now, coronations just came out, so I don't really know how they work fully, but they give you prestige and legitimacy, while also letting you swear an oath. An oath is like a mission that once you complete it, you get a reward. The oaths here aren't exactly useful for me, as I don't plan on doing any of these, but I might as well attempt the greatest hunter oath. We have 40 years to complete it, but I mean, we'll be dead by then, so there really is no downside to failing. I'm sick, but I really don't want to die, so I'm switching to a medicine focus. These guys I'm raiding here have twice as many troops as me. And it doesn't matter, our archers are just too good. I've been trying to reach 3,000 prestige, and now that I have it, the next part of the plan can begin. I'm replacing staunch traditionalists with forest fighters. I'm replacing it because I want to form a hybrid culture, and traditionalist makes it way harder to do so. I'm going with forest fighters because we want to become the ultimate forest culture, so it just makes sense. It'll take 7 years, which isn't too long. We just got enough renown for our first legacy. The law branch has this one which decreases building cost, so we're going for that of course. Oh yeah, we're holding all 3 duchies. Holding extra duchies makes your vassals have a negative opinion modifier of you, but is good for everything else, so the penalty is worth it. It's actually nice that we're in the learning tree now, as I can get the scientific perk which will speed up research. Oh shit, he called us obnoxious. And he has 10,000 troops. I suppose that's bad too. Actually, without their allies, they kinda suck. Unfortunately, my army is over in Germany helping out Prussia. I don't want to die, so I'm spending all my prestige on some more archers. We're actually able to get all the way up to 1,500 men-at-arms. It looks like we should be able to crush them in this battle. Yeah, we stack wiped them. This war is so easy that I'm gonna go on a hunt in the middle of it. And we successfully defended ourselves and made 145 gold in the process. Over in Siberia, there's this culture Bashkir, which has the forest folk tradition, which has the same bonuses as forest wardens. The two traditions are incompatible with each other normally, but if we merge with them, we can get both. It's the only culture I can find with forest folk, so it's gonna have to be the one we merge with. The Bashkirs are out of diplomatic range, so I'm going for this random county that's halfway there. Luckily for us, we can sail down the river here instead of walking all the way across Russia. This siege is making me really want onagers. Eventually, we sieged the land anyway, winning the war, and getting this county in the middle of nowhere. We can now go all the way over here to declare war for a county with the Bashkir culture. An easy victory. We can now give this land to a local noble and begin promoting cultural acceptance. Once we reach 40 acceptance, we can form a hybrid culture to make us the ultimate forest people. At the current rate, it's going to take a while, but there are a few ways to speed this up. I can give land away to new vassals with the Bashkir culture, which will increase the rate we gain cultural acceptance. We can take a few more counties and also grant them the Bashkir vassals. Rest in peace the king, founder of Livonia. Our new player here is the one we trained to have a good martial skill. Our land was split up and given to our brothers, so we only control one county directly now. I was trying to take another Bashkir county with my last ruler, so I've taken over that war, but I kinda just got shit on, so I'm just gonna surrender. Oh hey, that's gonna make things easier. My brothers just declared war on me to try and take the crown, which will give me a good reason to revoke their land. I inherited the men-at-arms from my father, but that last war hurt my numbers, so I'm losing the first battle here. My troops are now all the way out here in the middle of nowhere for some reason that I can't explain, but I should be strong enough to win some battles now. And of course, a populist faction is uprising while I'm trying to deal with this other rebellion. My cowardly brothers are running away from me. Well, I see why they were trying to run away. I just stack wiped their entire army. Yeah, why not? My Bashkir vassals are demanding independence. I just beat my brothers, and I just beat the peasants at the same time. I can now revoke the land my brothers got in the inheritance to regain all the strength I lost. Damn. During all the fighting, this guy here kidnapped my son and I'm gonna have to pay 200 gold to ransom him back. I went ahead and crushed the Independence Rebellion, bringing us to peace yet again. I'm actually pretty well off now, and I can begin focusing on my own realm to bring prosperity to the Livonian people. We're up to 12% acceptance, so over a fourth of the way there. So I have a martial education, but I think it's finally time to start working towards building up the nation, so I'm switching to a stewardship lifestyle. It'll let us hold another domain, so I'm fabricating a claim on my vassal. I'm in my crowning ceremony, and I can swear an oath to ensure peace. If the nation is at peace for 5 years, I get rewards, including development. I know I just swore to keep the peace, but I just had to take some more Bashkir land to grant away to local vassals. It's making my acceptance go up much quicker. I'm setting up a grand tour to go to my vassals to increase cultural acceptance. It's gonna be a long walk. The reason I was fabricating that claim earlier is that when you have a claim on the title, there is no tyranny penalty for revoking it. We are gonna have to fight them for it though. Oh, damn. I wasn't expecting so many vassals to be against me taking that land. Looks like we're in for a fight. We have the best archers in the realm, so we won the Civil War. Unfortunately, it cancelled our tour, and the game won't let me start another one, even though we never actually did the last one. Wait, what? I'm gonna be so honest, I actually have no idea how we have Estonia. I don't even really want Estonia. I guess I have it now though. I'll probably get rid of it at some point. We're at 39% cultural acceptance, so we can almost form that hybrid culture. We skipped right past 40 and now we're at 41% acceptance. We can do it. We're switching to the other language because we have to form the hybrid culture. We're now able to combine the Forest Wardens tradition and the Forest Folk tradition for 30% dev growth in Forest, while also reducing building costs by 20%. This isn't important for playing tall, but we also can get this devoted horsemanship tradition to get the beautiful horse archers men-at-arms. The hot pink Livonian culture is born. I can now get rid of my extra vassals as they no longer serve a purpose. Be free, my little birdies! So the next goal will be to adopt feudal ways to really start developing our land. We need to reform our religion to make it organized, increase the development of our capital, and research more techs. We're not too far off from getting enough techs, and development should just come over time. So let's focus on that first one. let's reform Vitalism. To reform our religion, we will need to hold 3 holy sites. Luckily for us, they are all around this area, and we already have 2. The holy site in Estonia is being held by a vassal of a different religion, so I will have to revoke his land. You need 3 holy sites, and they all need to be held by someone of your religion. I actually can't revoke his title, as he's not my direct vassal, so that means I need to revoke a vassal from Estonia here. Luckily, he's an adulterer, so I can do it without penalty. Civil war yet again. Every one of my vassals hates me. I suppose it's because I changed culture. I'm not scared, although maybe I should be. Damn, I just got destroyed. I think to win this, I'll have to hold more defensive positions. I'm marrying my kid to get this alliance, and there will definitely be no genetic issues with their kids. I'm also using my prestige to get some horse archers. Unfortunately, I lost another battle. Next time, I need to go the other way around. Our ally got in here just in time and helped us win. It was much easier defending in the forest of our capital. Oh yeah, I moved my capital here. And there's another battle win. We should be good in this war now. There we go. All that to get a 1 county vassal. And now I can revoke this title from the vassal that controls the holy site. This civil war was much easier. We now have 2 out of 3 of the holy sites we need. Because all my vassals rebelled, I can remove their titles and get new loyal vassals. Denmark is one of the holy sites we need. They're pretty weak right now, so I think it's the best time to attack. I've been going down the learning lifestyle for the 15% dev growth of the scholarship focus, and now I can get the profit perk, which halves the cost of reforming a religion, so it's perfect. Well, my heir just died, the one I trained to be amazing. He was a genius and had a great stewardship education. I really need to redouble guards. And our new player heir kinda sucks. This son I have here is much better, but he's like 3rd in line. I'll deal with that later. Okay, we've beaten Denmark and now have the 3rd required holy site to reform our faith. I'm making marriage unrestricted for good vibes, and I'll make kinslaying shunned instead of criminal, mainly so I can kill my bad kids. The most important thing is that I need to make my religion not love trees, as I want to cut them all down to build stuff. I'll go with monasticism. Making kids monks is pretty good, and I really like the temperate trait. I'm keeping everything else the same because I want it to at least still feel like Vitalism. And there we go, a new religion is born. None of my vassals switched, so hopefully that doesn't come to bite us. Now to become feudal, we just need more development, and we're currently at 5, which is halfway there. Man, our succession is really messed up. The good news is the Estonia problem will solve itself, as one of our kids will get the title and become independent. The problem is that I can't convince my sons to become monks, so succession is gonna be a pain. To go feudal, you need 70% of the techs, and there's a total of 14, so we only need 1 more, which will only take 11 more years. We also need 10 development, which I think will probably take around the same amount of time. While we wait, we might as well get rich, so I'm gonna sail over and raid England. 126 gold is crazy. I'm also hoping to get the slave event that increases development in our capital. France is actually just letting us devastate their nation unopposed. We just unlocked Ledger, which means we are only waiting on the development now, which is at 7 out of 10. With Ledger, we now have an extra building slot in each holding, and we have plenty of money from raiding to construct stuff. Our character is on the edge of death, so I think it would be wise to finally sort out succession. Disinheriting is kind of expensive, so let's throw him in prison. And you go in prison too. To the dungeon with you. We want this son to be in charge, and he's 3rd in line, so we only have to deal with the 2 sons I just threw in prison. One of them just died in our dungeon, so that's nice. It took me long enough, but I finally got planned cultivation to get my development up quicker. We got the notification that we'll die within a year, so it's time to execute my son and heir. See, that was easy enough. Now our good son is our heir. Wait, we stole the skull of Charlemagne. Ha! And we died. Estonia is independent now. Our new ruler is actually going to be much better at building up our nation once we reach feudal, as our stewardship skill is a lot higher. We lost these 2 duchies to our brother that we'll have to take back. It just so happens that he has no kids and we're his heir. Oh no, my brother is about to accidentally fall in a river during my wedding feast. Oh, what a shame. His land got passed to us and we now control 6 holdings directly. We can continue to upgrade buildings with our blood money from raiding. We're actually super rich, so I'm upgrading and building everything I possibly can, so that when we become feudal, the buildings convert to the castle ones. Because we're diligent, I'm able to increase the development of our capital for some stress, so I'm doing that when possible too. That looks like 10 development to me. We can now become feudal. Long live Livonia! Now we have new stuff like this grand temple, which is why I put my capital here. It increases taxes and dev growth in the whole county substantially. So the county capital here is a plains, which is not what we want. We are forest people. I'm constructing a new castle in the forest, which I can then move our capital to. I made our religion have lay clergy, which means we get to decide who holds temples, so I can hold temples myself if I want to. But also, I need to get rid of one to get under our domain limit. If you look here, you can see one of the most important parts of the plan. With forest wardens, the forestry building has these extra bonuses. It reduces building costs and time, but not just in the holding, in the entire county. That means we can build these multiple times in one county to stack the modifiers. With all that money we got from raiding, I'm constructing anything that gives money or development, like trade ports. Most of our castles are on the sea or river, so that's nice. Here's another modifier for reducing the cost of buildings. The architect trait reduces building costs by another 10%. So the castle in our capital county is finished, and we can move the county capital to it. That was a mouthful, wasn't it? Now our bonuses from our forest culture will apply to this county as well, as you can see here. Eugenics doing its job. I just reached the 3rd dynasty legacy in the law branch, which decreases building costs even further. So I just took Estonia, and you might be like, what? Why? You just got rid of it. Well, it's because of this little pink right here. I messed up by accidentally spreading our culture too far. I want our culture to only be in our county, so we have full control over it. I'm gonna remove the land from our brother and give it to someone of a different culture. Creating the Kingdom of Livonia gave me this legend that I just completed. Oh, nice. We got the legendary palace from it. Legitimizing legends have a 50% chance to give this. It's a very good building that gives 10% gold and 15% development, while also increasing lifestyle experience. I'm adding it to our capital, of course. I'm up to making 20 gold a profit per month. I took the title of Estonia after fabricating a claim, and I'm now granting it away to my 4-year-old son. The original plan was to give it to someone of a different culture, but I think the actual best way to do this is to create a new hybrid or divergent culture that I would once again fully control. Ooh, shiny. That sword is really cool, but back to the culture. I messed up, and the Bashkirs all the way in Siberia have also been spreading our culture, which really limits the research speed. Research speed is based on average development, and Siberia isn't exactly the most developed place in the world. I have quite a bit of Estonian land, and could form a hybrid culture at 80% acceptance, and we're already at 68%. It's higher than the normal 40% because the Estonians are traditionalists. I'll just do a quick acceptance tour. The tour worked great and brought the acceptance all the way up to 99%. I now must wait for our culture to be 50 years old, and it'll take 16 more years. So I just got the scholar trait, which gives some nice development growth, and now I can go get some medicine. It's been 16 years and we can now form that hybrid culture. We get a couple techs, but I'm keeping all the same traditions. Oh hey, it naturally converted all our counties to the culture, except for this one for some reason. But now we're the only person with land of this culture, which means we control the research speed directly. Well, back to building. Maybe in 50 years we can form a hybrid culture with Prussian to get bureaucratic. Just a thought. We're just about to enter the early medieval period, which will let us unlock a bunch of useful innovations to progress. Another cool thing is that we are now at the point where we only have a singular vassal. We almost control the entire country ourselves. Holding land directly gives you 100% of the money from it, while vassals only pay a small percent to you. It's the early medieval, and we're researching manorialism first. We hold a holy site, and we're pretty holy, so we can consecrate our bloodline to make religious people like us more. That also gives us enough renown for another dynasty legacy. This one doesn't matter, but we will want home estates. With a new era comes a new cultural tradition slot. I'm going with maritime mercantilism, as it increases taxes in coastal holdings. Almost all our holdings are coastal. It also makes trade ports able to be built earlier, and we have a lot of trade ports. I've just got news that I'm gonna die in a year. We have yet another succession crisis. Just gotta hold some executions. Okay, our succession no longer sucks, and this son who's pretty good is our heir now. Ooh! Until we get divided attention and the +2 domain limit from it, I'm unable to hold all our domains. Also, we're about to die from stress. I just got ourselves a wife, who is our sister. And now if we're set to manage domain, we're only 1 domain limit off from holding all the important land. Getting married and sleeping with the new wife was all it took to get that stress down. Also, university somehow lowers this guy's stress. He really is a beast. The skill points from university let us get divided attention, so we no longer need to get rid of any land. The new coronation event is letting me declare Estonia as a tributary, which just means they pay taxes to me until I die, so of course I'd love that. This time I can swear an oath to construct buildings in the realm, and the reward includes development. I was going to do that anyways, so that's an easy choice. Our development is getting up there, with our capital at 23. I'm educating my daughter niece in stewardship, since I don't have any sons yet. Higher stewardship makes you more money and lets you hold more domains. So I completed our oath, Shape the Realm, really fast, and once I click the button to finish it, all my counties get half a level of development. Well, we finally had a son, and I think the inbreeding is getting to us as he's got a bit of a hunchback. It's been a while, so I'm checking in on our construction cost discounts. We're at a minus 43% construction cost, which is only about halfway to our goal of the max at 90%. Still a pretty good discount for us though. I did another legitimizing legend, and we actually managed to get lucky enough to get another legendary palace. We're gonna be oh so developed. Our country looks so small on the map when you're zoomed out like this, but we're making 50 gold a month, and I guarantee that we'll end up as the strongest nation in the world. We got the scholar trait once again, and I'm thinking about switching to a wandering lifestyle to get the inspector perk, which also gives development growth, but I think staying and learning will be more useful for now. It's getting closer to the 50-year requirement to form another hybrid culture, so I'm gonna take Prussia. This is because the Prussian culture has the bureaucratic ethos, which grants development growth. We can form the hybrid culture in 20 years. We finally unlocked manorialism. We can now construct the economic duchy buildings. My favorite is always the royal reserves for the development growth, so I'll be going with that in all 3 of my duchies. I went to university again, and it paid off as I upgraded my education to the 5th level, Golden Sovereign. It gives a ton of stewardship points, while also giving stewardship and learning experience, which makes it the best education trait in my eyes. We're going for battlements next to upgrade our castles, and it'll take 16 years. I'm making a lot of money, so I'm doing legends when I can, and I just completed a holy legend. We got the option to build a legendary shrine, which increases life expectancy by 5 years. I think this goes without saying, but that's pretty insane. It stacks as well, so you can build a bunch of these to live way longer. And here we are, years later, completing yet another holy legend, which means we can yet again build another shrine to increase our life expectancy even further. Well, my wife died, and the only person with good stewardship I can marry is my daughter. Yep, I'm not proud of this one. What the hell? This guy's raiding me. He got the raid off on my capital before I could destroy his army. It messed us up for 5 whole years. This is the guy who raided me? Our neighbor? I'm gonna bring them under tribute. He deserved this, so I don't feel bad at all. That's the 5th dynasty legacy unlocked, and a +1 domain limit increase, which will let us hold a temple or something. Oh, we can build another castle. I'm close to death, but this time instead of killing all my kids, I'll just disinherit the hunchback. Battlements have been unlocked. Bailiffs will be next for the extra building slot. We can now upgrade all of our castles, and once these are finished, we will also be able to upgrade our economic buildings. We have a ton of buildings to upgrade. I'm marrying my heir to his sister and niece? I'm not really sure at this point. She's my daughter and granddaughter. I mean, the Targaryens ruled for a long time. It's finally time to create the hybrid culture. Everything is the same, except we're switching over to bureaucratic. And we're back to a Baltic heritage, which is nice. This should be our last culture, so it's going to be called Latvian. Only some of my counties converted automatically, so I'll have to manually convert the others. With my Prussian land, I created the Kingdom of Lithuania, and I'm giving it to my nephew. This is to increase the amount of renown we get per month. Also, he's Latvian Prime, so I don't have to worry about our culture spreading where we don't want it to. Upgrading these buildings is going extremely fast due to the insane bonuses from the forestry building. And we're all the way up to making over 100 gold of profit per month. Our family really has changed. I used to murder my kids, now I just disinherit them. The majority of our castles are maxed out for the time being. We've died, and now my son, nephew, and brother-in-law is in charge. And that's just one person. Oh what? The wedding just got invalidated for some reason. So I now have this glitch where I have no wife and can't marry anyone. I tried looking for a solution, but no one knows how to fix it. But they did recommend having a bastard kid and legitimizing them. Now that we're bureaucratic, we can switch our court over to administrative court. And do you see that? Minus 5% building cost. Level 7 will also give development, but that's not as cool as reduced building cost. This is kind of crazy, but that maritime tradition we got is letting us upgrade our trade ports all the way to level 6 already. Don't tell my girlfriend, but I've been seducing a bunch of women. Oh, by don't tell my girlfriend, I mean don't tell any of the women. They all think they're my girlfriend. I just unlocked Bayless, and now I get to pick new buildings to construct. Wait, we can build watermills early. I didn't realize that we'd be able to do that. Well, there's another reduction to the building cost. The reductions just keep adding up. Okay. So it's all due to the Forest Warden's tradition. Level 4 forestry buildings unlock watermills for you. I got all the perks that I always go for pretty early, so this time I'll be going down the wandering tree for that extra development growth. Our capital is at 45 development and growing quickly, so we're just setting it up to grow even faster. I'm all civilized and stuff, and the Vikings are still trying to conquer me. I don't know why they keep trying. They stand no chance. To rule the world. Our character is getting the chance to become a conqueror. This list of perks is overpowered and lets you, well, conquer. This is clearly a sign that it's time to form the Baltic Empire. But it's not time just yet. I'm thinking that once I get these military techs finished, then it'll be the perfect time to take the Baltic Empire with my superior army. I leveled up our military, and we now have stacks of 8. I also added some siege units. This accolade has the archer trait, which will add 2 to the max size of the regiments. So we now have stacks of 10. That's a lot of men-at-arms for this point in the game. These wars in the Baltics are going to be easy. Our men-at-arms can easily handle over double their number. Our first Duchy of Lithuania. We've gotten enough experience to unlock Inspector, and now we can move back to a scholarship focus for insane development bonuses. We're looking a little bigger, but let's change our focus from the south and go take Estonia. Also, since we're a conqueror, the Casus Belli cost is free. Estonia is free though. The next war will be for Prussia, which is the last duchy in the Kingdom of Lithuania. Oh, they're coming. Wait, I'm destroying them. I raised my levies, but it looks like that was just a waste. So I know I'm at war, but I'm looking at the building cost reduction, and it's really getting up there. Minus 10%, minus 4%, minus 4%, minus 5%, minus 10%, minus 5%, minus 5%, minus 5%, minus 10%, and minus 10%. So that's about a 70% cost reduction. We could still do better though. The war is won, and we now fully control the Kingdom of Lithuania. Whenever I take land, I'm making sure to give it to a local noble. We don't want to spread our culture, so this just makes sense. It also reduces the amount of peasant uprisings, which is a nice bonus. Our research speed is real fast now, taking just a handful of years for each tech. We unlocked mangonels pretty quick, so we can upgrade our siege units. Here we have a 76% building cost reduction. The only way to take this further now is to upgrade our forestry and watermills buildings, which will come in the next era. We're getting closer and closer to having the Baltic Empire title. We just entered the High Medieval, which means we can start researching windmills because windmills are awesome. This win should give us enough land to create the Baltic Empire. We are now the Emperor. I think I'll like this name a little bit more. Welcome to the world, Greater Livonia. We just need to take a little more land to finish the empire. It was easy for our amazing archers, and now we have a completed Baltic Empire. What's cool about this is that we actually control all of the Vitalist holy sites now, which is pretty neat. That was a fun intermission, but now it's back to playing tall. I'm starting to feel a little worried about the Bullinids here. They're a nomadic group with a lot of manpower and a whole lot of land. We have another tradition slot available since we entered a new era, and if you've watched this channel before, you know there's only one tradition that I should get. There's no more traditions that we can get for reducing construction cost, but there is one that'll make me happy in the late game. By the sword, it lets you call infinite kingdom-sized holy wars. Windmills! This innovation comes with a new building slot, which I will be using to build windmills when possible. Look at that insane development growth for the windmills. You can't build windmills in secondary holdings because that would be OP, but I can still use that extra building slot for something that gives a little bit of money. We finally passed away at 87 years of age. I'm doing all the same things I do for each ruler, like going for the architect trait, going to university, doing a coronation. You know, the same old same old. Fun fact about this character, he's pure-blooded. In just a few years, we'll get hoardings. which will unlock level 3 castles and let us upgrade all of our economic buildings. There's hoardings being unlocked. Normally when I do these tall playthroughs, I get new innovations quicker than I can finish building what the last innovation gave me. But our construction length is so low that that's not the case here. I'm upgrading all our castles to level 3 of course. The cost is really cheap too, so it doesn't even matter how much money we have. Next, we'll get guilds for another building slot. The more I upgrade my buildings, the bigger the discount. We're at an 80% discount here. That huge nomadic state is gonna be a problem. They're asking me to become a tributary, and I'm saying no of course. Just keep building, just keep building, just keep building. Guilds! Even more buildings! We're also able to upgrade our forestry buildings, which, you guessed it, means lower construction costs. I'll go for the men-at-arms innovation next, so that I can hopefully beat the horde at our doorstep. Looky here, this normally costs 2,240, and we got it all the way down to 313. That's an 86% discount. We're so close to the max discount possible, which would be 90%. And look at that time reduction. It's literally at over 100%. So I think it's safe to assume that's maxed out. Our men-at-arms just got upgraded. We can now get 8 stacks of men-at-arms, and increase the size to 12. Only a few years later, due to our high development, I unlocked trebuchets, so I'm adding them to our army. So the Bulinids are the strongest nation in the world, and they control Russia. During early World War II, the Soviets annexed Latvia and controlled them until 1991. What if while we wait to reach the max construction discount possible, we took over Russia as a sort of revenge? We can declare a holy war for the Kingdom of Novgorod, putting our 27,000 men against their 33,000. They're coming in to attack my army of just men-at-arms here. We somehow have a commander advantage of 41, but I'm not going to question it. We just somehow have an insane 36 martial skill. Wait, we won the war. I kept the battle going just because I wanted to see if we could win, and we did. We beat their entire army with just 7,000 men. We captured their leader in a single battle, winning the war, which is really funny. Now we wait 5 years for the truce to end and do that again. While waiting, I've gotten enough renown to get the 3rd Erudition legacy for the plus 20% dev growth. It's time for the second war, and this time we're going for the Kingdom of the White Rus. They are taking the battle to us yet again. Oh, it's so beautiful. They really need to learn to not fight us in the forest. Okay, so I messed up by splitting my army up. Oh shit. I might have caused the death of my son. Well, that's a sad defeat. I just need to keep my army together. Well, when our army's together, we are the best. Another victory for Livonia. We're gonna get all of Russia soon enough. We have almost all the innovations possible. We're also very rich. It's time for the 3rd war for Russia. I just have my guys spread out here for supplies. Not everyone is as developed as I am. We're instantly crushing any army that tries to fight us in a forest. And it's another easy victory for us. It'll be one more war before we can create the Empire of Russia. Before we do that, it's time to show off what we worked for. It's finally happened. We reached the max possible building construction reduction possible. You add all these up and you get 90% reduced construction cost, which is the lowest it can possibly go. Even if you were to manage to get a higher percent, it wouldn't be reduced any further. The truce is over and let's finish the job. A fairly quick war for the rest of Russia. The Baltics are in control of Russia in this alternate timeline. I'm looking at every other nation of the world and we could easily defeat all of them. Oh, and you know me, I got 100 development in our capital of course. I wouldn't have it any other way. Just once again looking here, we have the forestry buildings in each holding stacking here, we have the water mills, we have the architect perks, we have the dynasty legacy, we have the bureaucratic court bonus, and we have the 2 forest traditions that decrease building cost. It's a beautiful day to be in the forest, although at this rate, all the trees will be cut down soon enough. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and here's a special thanks to the channel members. On the right, you'll see a couple other videos that you can check out if you'd like to. Comment a suggestion if you have one.